Hello there, my lovelies. Welcome to another episode of Sitting Down with Soul Writer with Jenna O'Malley, your soul writer, the author of the Arsinoe Forest Alliance, Book 1, Bound by Fate and Blood, and the now award-winning Book 2, Bound by Oath and Heart, with Book 3, Bound by Vengeance in Mind, coming out in time for Pride Month 2022. Oh my goodness, the list goes on and on of all the things that I do around here, it feels like. And thank you all for very much joining me on this journey. Today's video, we are focusing on that very award-winning book, Bound by Oath and Heart, why it got the award, what was going on behind the scenes all along, some reflection, and definitely some look ahead as to where my alliance and their characters are headed. So before we get started, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe because, my friends, the journey has truly just begun. As always, take care of yourself a little bit better each and every day. Okay, now let's get started. Welcome back, my lovelies. And as we said before, today we're here kind of just celebrating and reflecting the fact that my second novel, Bound by Oath and Heart, Book 2 to the Arsinoe Forest Alliance, has not just been nominated for, has not just been shortlisted for, but has actually been awarded a Book of the Year award. Thank you very much to everybody from Best Book Editors on the staff who decided that my book deserved to uphold this inaugural category for your yearly awards. Thank you very, very much. I didn't even know it was that good, but okay, let's hold all that and let me do this the correct way. What is this series even about, first of all? We've gotten snippets about it and things of that nature. You've heard me talk about it a lot. So let's kind of take things all the way back to the beginning and even look at Book 1. So the series details, genre and keywords do currently include historical fantasy with some light/clean paranormal romance, sword and sorcery, strong female leads, and now a tragedy tag potentially, with maybe a consideration of changing the genres around a little bit to where it includes a dark fantasy tag because, well, we will see how Book 3 ends. A synopsis for the series. I have been known to run a little too long-winded on these types of things. So let's get right down to brass tacks. What is this series about? The Arsinoe Forest Alliance did, as all my series probably will, look to answer a question. Are you looking for a romance that also packs that action punch? Do you ever wonder why we humans are, well, the only beings on Earth that look like us? Were there once others? How did we treat them? Were they different from us? What happened to magic and all of its creatures, paranormal, mythical, celestial, and otherwise, according to human history as we know it? Join the Arsinoe Forest Alliance to find out. These books cross historical fantasy with paranormal romance and feature a melting pot of characters. Who doesn't love an Egyptian vampire and her French-ish or British-ish turnlings, a Swedish werewolf, a Korean cat shifter, or an Israeli fairy king? The series battles draw from my years of playing tabletop RPGs like Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, and Vampire the Masquerade. Of course, influences from video games like Final Fantasy, The Elder Scrolls, and Legends of Zelda are probably also quite prominent. If you're into sword and sorcery with that slice of life, a little romance, some humor, and relatable characters facing timeless problems like their own mental health, racism, women's rights, oppression, and equal representation, then check out more with the Alliance for sure. Oh my goodness, this book series, I didn't intend for it to be social justice-y warrior, but when I plunked it in the time period that it ended up being in for the first 5 books, made quite a bit of sense. So what is this time period? Book 1's synopsis does set you up for that. And in order to understand book 2, you have to understand the basis of book 1. So, reminder, if you haven't yet, like, comment, and sub if you stuck in this far. Book 1 synopsis. This is for Bound by Fate and Blood. Scottish merchant for hire, Christian Sinclair longs for solid ground after traveling the Atlantic in the 1600s under King Charles II's banner. When he returns to London 6 months late, his homecoming plans did not include being captured, finding his family dead, or, worst of all, hearing their estate burned to the ground. Neftiri, the last of 2 full-blooded vampires, dreams of Christian's plight and offers to avenge his murdered family. In exchange, she reveals his parents' hidden ties to the secretive Hunters Guild, slayers and slavers intent on destroying her people. If the guild seizes Christian, then they will either enslave him against England or enthrone him as their imperial Lord Hunter. His choices will either save or shatter Neftiri and the Arsinoe Forest Alliance in the process. The first book takes place in the summer months leading up to the beginning of book 2. Book 2 picks up end of September, October area. And we're going to go ahead and give you that setup right away. Of course, here's the synopsis for book 2. Fractured by betrayal at Sancta Terra, the Arsinoe Forest Alliance scatters. The 5 remaining elders split Ian and Neftiri, not realizing their son Walker has a new secret to hide. Though the couple can visit one another in dreams, a life apart tests their bond early. A quest to find Ian a weapon to match his powers binds him to his Adikos Neha, and reveals not all mythical creatures are lost. Rochelle adapts to a lesser role as Shifei under the pressure of Bjorn's presence in his halls at Amaranth. With the help of Arya and other elders from afar, they plot to save the Alliance without their new Uran Shifera's guidance. Suspicious of their actions, Neftiri heightens the search to free her lost grandmother from the Hunter's captivity. Allegiances are stressed as the dead walk and the living fight to thrive. I didn't think the book stood up to that synopsis, honestly. Even when I go back and reread it still, I'm like, wait a minute. Did the book actually accomplish all that? Did it? Well, it must have. The Best Book Editors Best Book 2021 award did go to it. Thank you once more, everybody, for bestowing that upon not just me, but the Alliance. I am very, very flattered. I am very, very thankful to the team that decided out of those other books that are also amazing. The short list included a total of 7 books with my book 2 in there. And thank you. I'm super flattered. Thank you. I can't say it enough just because I'm so shocked still. If you want to find out more about Best Book Editors, I did sit down with the lady in charge herself on the season finale for Listening to the Voices in Our Head Season 2. We had her on during the early days of Season 1, so we decided it was well due over for a catch-up. If you want to find out more about the awards, about Best Book Editors in general, definitely be on the lookout for that other video. Now, reflecting on the book a little further as far as why I'm like, how the heck did it even get nominated for a short list? Thank you for your faith in me. But I know the book has its problems, and Susan and I talked about this a little bit because she actually has that book going through what she calls a nip and tuck to make sure we catch instances of typos. So that way, instead of Frey cured somebody, he curses somebody appropriately, because Frey doesn't cure, he curses. Anyway, yeah, big mess up. funny mess up too if you play Dungeons and Dragons and games. Anyway, but it's kind of, she's going through it one last time, making sure that any teeny tiny typos we missed are definitely gotten a hold of. And one thing she and I talked about was, I didn't realize it until now, but there's one character that is really absent. In book 1, you get to know Nefertiti's biological younger brother, her Koi Abraxas. And he's the big baddie of books 1 through 5, apparently, as we're finding more and more toward the end of book 2. Context, not spoilers. But you have his POV in book 1. We agreed 6 POVs was too many POVs for a book with book 2. And some people might be shocked to find this out. It came down to, we had to cut a POV, and it was tied between Abraxas, Nefertiti's biological brother, and her brother by choice / brother in arms, Arya. They were tied for being cut, and when I really got looking at it, Arya had to stay because he is also a big part of other projects I'm going to tell you about down the road with the Alliance. Shh. It's a couple years away. I have time. Give me time. Anyway, so Abraxas fell to the wayside, but not many people know this. Book 3 opens and he's right there. So I think adding his POVs, those 6 chapters that I cut and then lost and now would have to rewrite, sadly, I think if we included it in book 2, book 3 wouldn't have the appropriate setup. So unfortunately, does this mean I might have to go back and do some rewrites on book 1 later down the road? I need to finish through book 5 to see that, sadly. So not at this time is the answer there. What, if anything, do I think really won it for the Alliance as far as book 2 becoming best book 2021? It's got to be the battle scenes. A lot of people who read my book thinking they're getting a traditional paranormal romance story chucked back into history would be sorely upset to find that I do not include smut or erotica scenes in my books. I just don't. My editor and I debated about including full-blown ones because it fades to black. That's why my books are clean / light. You will get the kissy, you will get the snuggly, you will get the I love you, but when it gets down to, what goes on with sheets, I fade to black. Most people reading my books are of a consenting age, I assume, and therefore they can use their imaginations. But something my editor said stuck with me, especially since my books kind of set astride a couple different genres and blend them. There's a lot of really poorly written intrigue scenes, if you get my meaning, with vampire novels in particular. Sorry, J.R. Ward. I love reading those scenes. You write them so much better than I. And my editor and I wondered if those were the weak point of the book and to take them out. So, therefore, I think it's really my battle scenes and character development because of the bull hockey my characters go through that really drove that book home. Book 3 again is going to get dark. If you have read book 2, you know it ends on as not a high note, but as high of a note as the situation could allow for, which most people will be like, okay, Jenna, that's a high note. But I'm going to crash and burn it, apparently. Book 3, what's next for the Alliance? Book 3 has so much going on with it. I'm sorry, I'm going to break your hearts, but a little bit more on that here in a second. What is in general, marketing-wise, next for the Alliance is where we're going to go first. In honor and in thanks to the community for supporting me over the last several months, especially with the announcement of the surprise of getting the award, I'm doing a book award winner giveaway. Basically, I am giving away, there's a drawing in my link tree, description box below, and so on. There's going to be a total of 6 winners drawn between now and it says January 31st, but that's going to be updated till the end of February. I really, really, really would like a lot of people to try for this. There's one $25 Amazon gift card up for grabs. There's going to be 2 paperback sets of books 1 and 2 together that will be signed by me. I'm going to try and see if I can convince Sun Troa, the cover artist for book 2, to sign it as well. He did for a previous giveaway, and that went over really well, and he, I think, would probably do it again. So I'm also doing, for an international appeal, 3 ebook copies for free of both books 1 and 2. All of the winners will also get free copies of books 3 when it comes out, if they would so like it. So I'm really, really thankful, and I really am trying to do a lot to give back to the communities that have supported me through what is truly the beginning of my author journey. Therefore, I'm also doing a virtual blog tour and giveaway with Silver Dagger Book Tours. I got an update from Maya the other day, and she said there's 20 plus blogs looking to be involved, and it's going to be a very similar giveaway to the one I already mentioned. There's going to be some signed sets available. I'm going to have some paperbacks available as well. I'm doing another giveaway called Vampires for Valentine's Day with a fellow author who recently lost her mother, and our condolences are with you at this time, my dear. You have our support. If you need anything, let us know. So I have also included the link to that if you are an author of vampire persuasion. We are looking for other authors to hop on in and put their books to be in part of a 10 to 15 book giveaway called Vampires for Valentine's. Yes, as you can imagine, all of this will revolve around the big book bash party that I've been telling everybody so much about for book 1's anniversary. I will do another separate video that recaps it so it gets its standalone moment outside of book 2. So for the book bash party, just some highlights. That night, of course, I am going to be going over similar things that we see in here. How has 1 year been? Where I'll hopefully have a live read of the battle scenes aboard the Lusty Strumpet, Madame Malice's pirate ship. But the biggie that night is we are playing Jackbox Party games. The group behind the Winged Ones got me into playing Jackbox pretty hardcore when I met them during lockdown on Twitch, playing Jackbox a couple years ago. And in honor of them, I want to play Jackbox. I love the word games in there. And according to my reigning supreme on the Emerald Company Gaming Twitch nights of ye olden days a year plus ago, I am the Madverse City Robot Rap Battle Queen. Come after my crown in chat. Yes, the audience will be able to play with us live, but I would love it if the audience would play Fibbage, Madverse City, and a couple of other word-based games with Jackbox with me that night. Those people who have played Jackbox, please back me up in the comments below here. It is a blast. AuthorTubers, come on, get creative. You would have so much fun. All of this is going to hopefully happen on February 14th, the 1 year Valentine's Day anniversary of Bound by Fate and Blood, Book 1. It is it may, we have a bright journey ahead of us, my lovelies. Thank you so very much for joining us and for being part of my journey and for watching my characters continue to grow. I literally could not do this without you. And as always, my dears, like, comment, subscribe, especially if you sat through me being way long-winded this time, and take care of yourselves a little bit better each and every day, because we all are worth at least that.